entertain you. This is a radio program that goes out around the world thanks to the auspices of Society Bites Radio, and that is a part of the Radio Ear Network. And thank you all out there for listening, because if you weren't, there'd be no purpose for me sitting in front of this microphone. I sure do appreciate it. And I'm Jeannie Corcoran. I'm the Film Commissioner for Sarasota County, Florida, and I am the humble recipient of the time and talent of amazing people. And I'm so grateful and so privileged to be able to interview folks from arts and entertainment, from media, from movers and shakers throughout our region, throughout the state of Florida, throughout the United States, some from around the world, and they are so generous to give me their time. And my guests today, I have two extremely sports-savvy gentlemen sitting in here with me. We're going to learn all about what they're doing, one of whom you may have met on our radio show before, Victor Young, an extraordinary entrepreneur, businessman, and creative individual involved in a lot of businesses. But the one thing he didn't tell us about when he visited us last was sports and his sports team. And with him is Ray Johnson, who is the Director of Corporate Business Development for a brand new soccer team headquartered in Sarasota, Florida. It's so exciting. And it's called the Sarasota Metropolis. So, Ray, welcome. Ray Johnson.
Thank you.
So nice to have you here. How did you end up partnered up in this amazing, brand new sports venture for a soccer team for our region?
I've actually known Mr. Young for almost 20 years, and I've known he was a sports enthusiast. And probably about a little over a year ago, we had a conversation, but he didn't tell me exactly what he had going on until February, and at which point he had been awarded USL League 2 franchise, Sarasota Metropolis FC, and we were on an accelerated schedule because the initial thought process is that to start league play in 2020, but it's just our luck. We're going to start a few months after. So we just started. We started in May
of 2019.
Of 2019, and Mr. Young signed off, got the awarded the franchise in January of 2019. So at which point we didn't have a venue, no coaches, team, and we had to make do.
And yet here you are. You're ready to rock the universe for soccer and this division, and you made it happen in basically less than a year. Isn't that pretty quick for a major sports franchise like this?
Absolutely.
Starting up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, our season ended up starting probably 4 months after, because we have a short season, May through first couple weeks of July. It's a 14-game season, 7 home and 7 away, and then we'd go into the playoffs.
I liked what I read on your site. It says the league is the proving ground for players who aspire to reach the highest levels of the game while providing affordable family entertainment to the Sarasota-Bradenton area. What a great goal. What a great goal. And how has the reception been in this family-friendly arena? Victor, let me ask you, how has your first inaugural season gone? And what do you see coming up ahead? And how did you manage to rope Ray into this?
Season 1 has been great. Go Blue Dragons.
Go Blue Dragons.
It's a very fragmented soccer town, Sarasota. And so when I look at other countries and other cities and other states, we have kind of really been known for our amazing pitches, so great fields and facilities. And so we host tournaments. But our soccer, aspirations die at 18 because we don't have a college here in town, and we didn't have a pro sports franchise. So literally we'd have these amazing elite players that would kind of hit a ceiling and have no bridge. So we had to basically come in and educate the community and for the individuals who were used to just seeing soccer up to club level and actually saying, no, this is a pro team. And there were people that would still ask, well, how old are the kids? Well, our oldest kid is 36. This is a real team. Yeah, it's a real pro team.
These are real grown-ups.
So educating a lot of the community on what USL and MLS and Premier League and all the different divisions of soccer and what it means, and then actually connecting with a lot of clubs. Because you got to think, if you're a club and you've got 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 kids and they pay to be in your club, to have someone else come in town is terrifying. You're like, oh my gosh, they're going to take all of our kids and we're going to go bankrupt. And so, no, that wasn't the case. We're here to partner and provide a bridge to pro.
Right.
So hashtag, pathway to pro is kind of something you'll see with a lot of our posts and our press releases, because we actually create a bridge in between college and pro level, or even the elite kids who just go straight from high school, which is the norm in South America and Europe. At
Sure.
16, you're signing a contract and you go play soccer. And then after soccer, you go to college when you're a millionaire. So they do things in reverse outside of the U.S., and we normally play to get a scholarship. So we're really trying to bridge and connect the European culture and the European model with what we do here in the States. And so we've got an interesting hybrid model that we're introducing. It's going well.
Right. And,
Yeah.
Globally, we're kind of insular in the United States. We don't realize how enormous soccer really is globally.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very wrapped up in our football, we're very wrapped up in our baseball and our basketball, and some of the other sports, golf and things that follow on in tennis. But soccer is just a juggernaut
Biggest
around the
global
world.
sport in the world.
In the world. So to see a pro team start up here, I think it's pretty exciting myself.
Yeah.
What kind of response have you gotten from outside of our community? Have people been really getting on board to find out the schedule and when can they go and where can they go?
So after our regular season ended in late July, we had a couple of international friendlies scheduled with two EPL teams, Premier League level teams out of Europe. And so one of those teams was Derby County. And we had fans drive to Sarasota to IMG Academy to watch us play, to see Derby play from around the country. Literally, they were license plates from San Antonio, Texas, from West Virginia, from New York.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
so,
Yeah.
again, those global soccer fans are appreciating some of our international friendlies. Right after that, we played Bristol City. Just a lot of iconic movement with those teams, with their coaching staff and players. So it was a real treat for a lot of international or individuals who've moved to the Florida and west coast of Florida area to see these other two teams come and scrimmage us. And next week, actually this weekend, we play Michigan Stars, which is another higher division team. And in February, we play MLS team in another friendly. It's FC Cincinnati, and we have a few other MLS teams. So our players not only get to play in their division and introduce soccer at a high level here, but we actually get to bring teams that you would normally spend a lot of money to go and fly away to see as well, because we've got a great team, a great coaching staff, and we provide really competitive scrimmages and friendlies against those teams.
That's exciting to hear. Our tourism divisions, I think about Manatee County, the Braden Area Convention and Tourism Center, and Sarasota. We've got, Visit Sarasota, great tourism entities that are always reaching out to markets beyond our borders. They're always reaching out to attract new people to come to Sarasota Manatee and come to Benderson Rowing and come to this event or that event, and trying to really spread the wings of our sports universe out there. And this just seems like a brand new feather in the cap. Are you getting, or have you've probably been so busy you haven't yet explored this to the depth and width and breadth that you hope to, but have you interacted with the tourism organizations from either county yet? Have you gotten them on board?
We have started working with Visit Sarasota.
Great.
We've stuck our toe into it, and Ray is always on the road, literally on a daily basis, reaching out in the community. So
Yeah, and certainly trying to cultivate relationships,
Sure.
partnerships. As we grow, certainly we're looking for great partners, and we're excited about what we have here in Sarasota and Manatee County. Fans have been very receptive, so I'm excited. We're excited.
I'm going to be promoting this to my relatives and my relatives that are over in the UK.
Yeah.
They're always looking for a great excuse to come to America anyway and come to the Sarasota Braden area anyway. Now there's a new reason.
And Ray mentioned the word partners. We don't have sponsors. We have partners. And so what a lot of businesses don't understand until Ray reaches out is when you have a professional soccer team that's engaging with all these other high-level teams around the world, you're able to access that entire fan base. And the engagement with sports is higher than any other media on the planet, when it comes to non-electronic on television. So
Sure.
Our fans are very loyal. They follow us everywhere we go. And that young soccer demographic, that 13 to 44-year-old, demographic is the holy grail for companies, for whether it's retail, restaurant, new products, technology.
Branding, branding, branding.
You got it.
Yeah.
So it's a huge opportunity, and so again, our partners really benefit from us leveraging out this organic reach of millions of people. The money they would have to spend to create that type of buzz and engagement is 10 times, probably 100 times, and maybe even what we spend, during their partnership. And we're even, venturing into the esports arena.
Wow.
Well.
So what a great return on investment. Yeah, it sounds awesome. I'm thinking, of course, as a film commissioner, I'm thinking, I'm going to start researching what sort of movies are in development right now that have a soccer storyline. Because now you've given us some really hard assets that we can plug into that and say, hey, we've got a pro team. We've got this brand new opportunity. You want to come break some new ground and come take advantage of some fresh faces and discover the future superstars of tomorrow and this pathway that's been laid down for these adults to move into pro play. I mean, that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, we were actually a part of a 4-episode miniseries filmed by USL, which is on USL League Two's website, and it was really cool. And it really showcased the ownership. It showcased the front office with individuals like Ray and what they do, and the player path, the coach's path. And so it was a 360-degree, point of view into a sports franchise. And so not everyone's going to make it and get $1 million contract or multi-million-dollar contract. There's going to be individuals that end up, trainers, coaches, again, front office, ticketing, you name it. Lots. Right. There's so many different roles, and so it was really an educational piece and motivational as well.
And job creation. One of the things that people don't realize about film commissions, the kind of work I do, is we are all about jobs. We are all about workforce development. We're all about people's future for new creative jobs that may be an offshoot of the entertainment industry. And I see sports truly as an enormous offshoot of the entertainment world. And in many cases, they're the central focus of people's entertainment world. They like sports more than like movies. They like sports more than like watching TV, unless they're watching a game on television. But sports is its own entire entertainment universe. And you've added a dimension to it that we just haven't had. So where do you go from here? What's next? What's in 2020?
We're going to film a show called Ray Gone Wild.
Ray Gone Wild.
So we're just going to follow Ray around with a camera while he reaches out and, makes some sales to some corporate partners. And, I think it's got some magic to it. But no, seriously, we're we are. I mean, a lot of community development, and I'll let Ray go into that. Some of those partnerships, relationships. We're moving into our training part of our season right now, and our scouting. But the big thing right now is moving into the back office side of things with Ray and his community outreach. So
yeah, the business of the business is what people forget. Whether it's soccer, whether it's movies, whether it's the business of the business that will help it lay down the foundation that'll keep it here and help it prosper.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely, and that's why we're welcoming great partners. And we're looking.
Right. And are you looking, I assume that you kind of build concentric circles. Do you start on a local basis? Do you start further out? Are the concentric circles more statewide? Are you looking nationally? Are you looking?
It's a combination. Certainly there are potential partners right here in our backyard, right? And you certainly want to reach out to them and speak with them. And on a national brands are also looking to penetrate the Sarasota, Manatee County.
Sure.
What better way to do it than through a sports vehicle such as the Sarasota Metropolis FC.
Local, global.
Local,
that's kind of how we, operate. So there's a lot of global companies that it's very difficult for them to penetrate such a great market at a local level.